Wars and Dana here today with another episode of the Star Wars podcast. Today I will be reviewing the book Tarkin by James Luceno. So for any of you that don't know, this is a canon novel, meaning this is in the official line of Star Wars stories. It is not in the expanded universe. So if you're looking for a story that is official and counts, you don't have to be like, is that possibly going to be there and you like the characters in it, this is a novel to go with. Now let's get to the center of this book. This is where I'm going to get into any spoilers for any of you. Not that I think there's any super big spoilers in this novel, but let's get going. So, we get to learn more about Tarkin, who is the person who ordered the destruction of Alderaan to make a point and is able to control power. So before we even get into the book, Tarkin is a fantastic character who just shows his control. I can make another video on him later, but I think this was a great character for them to have chosen to make a novel for, especially be one of the first canon novels. Now, furthermore, the actual story is about Tarkin's run-in with a group that takes his ship, the Carrion Spike, and how Tarkin finds his way into this situation and out of the situation. Along the way, he has to work with Darth Vader. So, this is important for a couple of reasons. We get to see Tarkin's methods in action and how he thinks and solves a situation when he's trying to get his ship the Carrion Spike back. At the same time, he must work with Darth Vader. And this is very important because in episode 4, you see Tarkin actually controlling Vader. Vader listens to Tarkin. If you look at any other Imperial commanding officer other than the Emperor, none of them can show this control over Vader. Very little. Now, Vader may show respect to some of them like Danger, but he's not going to submit to them like he does Tarkin. That's because he utterly respects Tarkin, and Tarkin has the Emperor's respect, even though he cannot wield the Force. So, we are able to see this relationship between Tarkin and Vader form during this book as they explore Tarkin's backstory, and Tarkin even tells some of it to Vader. So, during the story, after we get to learn about Tarkin's backstory on the Carrion Plateau and on the planet of Eridu, and how he also became a politician and such before the Clone Wars came around. His mentor on the planet was Jova Tarkin, which was his uncle. So, what do I like about the Carrion Plateau stuff? I think it was fantastic getting to see Tarkin shaped by the wild and be able to control it. In many novels, you see the idea of nature versus the characters versus nature kind of thing. In this novel, you see that with Tarkin, but most of the time you aren't able to control nature. Tarkin's able to control it because he respects it. He respects nature, but is able to control it and notice where he has the right of way to go and what he's not able to do. And when you read the novel, you get to see him take on this group of, I forget what they were called, but this group of animals. He's able to manipulate them to where the animals kill off their leader, and the animal that was going to become the new leader, Tarkin kills after just a minute or two before they're able to reform and kill him. At that point, he's gotten their respect, and those animals are not going to touch him, and they're going to leave him alone, allowing him to stay alive, and that was his final trial. So, I thought that whole backstory stuff with Tarkin was awesome. We also got to learn about how he met Palpatine and how Palpatine kind of helped him find ways that he could get influence in politics and whatnot, because Palpatine was telling him that finding his influence through the military was not necessarily the way to go. It was through the politics, which Tarkin does come back to the military later during the Clone Wars. But it was nice getting to see all this backstory behind Tarkin. The end of the novel also shows us the creation of the Tarkin Doctrine, which is Tarkin's belief that the galaxy should be ruled by an iron fist. Tarkin becomes Grand Moff at the end of the novel, is able to have widespread control. Now, let's get into more of the plot points of the novel and how it goes exactly. So, apart from the backstory, the storyline of the novel is like this. Tarkin is overseeing the construction of the Death Star on Geonosis. A group raids the station Tarkin is working at and creates some fake holovid images. Tarkin is tracing on this, and he is called to Coruscant. At Coruscant, they discuss this issue, and he is taken to another planet with Vader, where his ship, the Carrion Spike, is stolen while they are investigating. They must go through several trials to try and find the ship, as the ship destroys a couple of Imperial facilities around the Outer Rim. The Carrion Spike is a very difficult ship, and it was to destroy, and it was designed very well. So it would be very hard to capture it. It even has a cloaking device, I believe. Anyways, it's one of the fastest ships out there and whatnot. But after looking into it and getting them a couple traps and weakening them, and looking into it, they discover that Admiral Rancid was a part of this scheme, and the Carrion Spike arrives in that system. Vader has Admiral Rancid killed for his deception and allowing these people to steal the Carrion Spike, but when Carrion Spike arrived in the system, there's no one left in the ship. They instead had decided to go and attack convoys with the separatist ship that had appeared at the beginning of the book, and to destroy these convoys. Tarkin is able to show his skills once again in destroying the attackers, and only one escapes. Then Tarkin has tracked this guy down to his home planet, Erido, where he gives him the chance to live if he's able to escape his trap and get off the planet. And that's basically where the novel ends, after we find out he's become Grand Moff and such. I think this book is good. It's not the best Star Wars book out there, but it's a definite read. If you love Star Wars, you'll love the book Tarkin. It's a very simple read compared to many of the Star Wars books, and it traces one character that is a villain, nonetheless. But you get to see his frame of mind, the way he's working, and James Luceno does a great job at this. I haven't read his book Dark Plagueis, but he apparently did a really good job there too. I would like to congratulate him on his job with Tarkin, and I would really suggest it as a read, especially if you're wanting to read canon books. It's probably one of the better canon novels out there, and so take it, read it. Thanks for listening. This is Star Wars Indiana signing out. See you later, and comment and suggest future topics. Bye.